Hi everyone, I'm Isabel, your host for today on Restoration Station. This is the podcast of San Sebastian Basilica Conservation and Development Foundation Incorporated. We're the team behind the restoration of San Sebastian Basilica, an all-metal church in Quiapo, Manila. Our approach to restoration is a holistic one. Beyond the physical restoration of the structure itself, we're also engaging the immediate community of Quiapo. That's why we have this program called Bukas Quiapo Tours. It's our community building initiative through heritage tourism. The foundation co-created this program with Fundación Santiago Incorporated. And while we can't do tours right now, we'll be bringing Quiapo to you. The Bukas Quiapo Tours has always been about people. So we're continuing our series on Kilalang Quiapenses. In our previous episode, which you might have listened to already, we talked about the historical Kilalang Quiapenses that lived in the neighborhood. Today, we'll be introducing some of the present Kilalang Quiapenses that you actually might see in Quiapo when we resume our tours again. Our Bukas Quiapo tour guide helped us out. Ma'am Annabel asked her neighbors about the places they miss and the places they'll go once quarantine is lifted. And we hope you visit us when it's safe, but until then, stay safe, enjoy, and stay indoors. Our first kilalang Quiapense is Miss Lea Grace Tria. She's one of Miss Annabel's neighbors in Barangay 385. When Miss Annabel asked her about where in Quiapo she'd head first once quarantine is lifted, she said, "We're going to church after quarantine," said Miss Lea. "Either to San Sebastian Basilica or Quiapo Church. We're going to give thanks because nobody in the family got sick." End quote. Lea has been a Quiapense since birth. She also serves the community as Barangay Secretary of Barangay 390, which is right across San Sebastian Basilica. To our future guests of Bukas Quiapo Tours, Lea suggests that they experience her personal routine. A visit to the two basilicas in Quiapo, then shopping at a nearby market like Quinta. Our next kilalang Quiapense is Miss Annonia Silang. She's also one of Miss Annabel's neighbors in Barangay 385. She's been a Quiapense for the past 41 years. Now, like Serios Menya, one of the historical kilalang Quiapenses we featured in our previous episode, she was also born in Cebu City and later on moved to Quiapo. "I miss serving God," said Miss Annonia when Miss Annabel asked her about what she misses the most while under quarantine. "I miss serving God for I'm a church volunteer." End quote. She's a member of both the secular Augustinian Recollects fraternity and the Lectors and Commentators Ministry in San Sebastian Basilica. Now, for our future guests of Bukas Quiapo Tours, she said, "I'd advise them to visit Quiapo Church and San Sebastian Parish, a home of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, to thank God for guidance and safety." End quote. Quiapo's history of welcoming people from different corners of the Philippines is one of the reasons it's the multicultural community we know today. One of these migrants is Miss Miranda de Ferreira, a neighbor of Miss Annabel in Barangay 385. Originally, she's from Oriental Mindoro, but she has been a Quiapense for 30 years now. "I miss visiting the church and the friends that I haven't seen in a while," shared Miss Miranda. "I also miss going around Plaza Miranda for the ukay-ukay, or stores of assorted goods, which we can't do right now." End quote. As many of you might know, especially former guests of the Bukas Quiapo Tours, Plaza Miranda is a busy square just outside Quiapo Church, where you can pick up everything from plants, fruits, and even have your fortune told. Our next kilalang Quiapense is Lawrence Villarroel. He's a tricycle driver and a devotee of the Black Nazarene, and a neighbor of Miss Annabel in Barangay 385. Faith is an important part of Quiapo life, and like Lawrence, there are many Nazareno devotees within the Quiapo community. "I miss going to church and doing church service in Quiapo Church every Sunday and Friday," Lawrence shared to Miss Annabel. "I also miss pagpasan. This is our tradition already, to be forgiven for our sins," he says. "This is our vow." End quote. Pagpasan is the act of pulling the rope of the carriage that bears the image of the Black Nazarene, especially during the procession of the Traslacion every January 9. Lawrence and others who partake in this custom are called mamamasan. Woodrow Lazaro, or Woody for short, is another neighbor interviewed by Miss Annabel for the Sila Kilalang Quiapense series. "What I really miss," said Woody, "is Carriedo, because I like shopping there." End quote. Aside from his job as a makeup artist, Woody is excited to shop again in Carriedo, which is one of the many streets in Quiapo lined with vendors of different products, from fresh vegetables to assorted clothes. Now, where is his first stop after quarantine is lifted? He said, "I'm going to SM Quiapo," referring to the SM clearance outlet along Carlos Palanca Street. "I'll also go to my father," he shared. "He's buried in the crypt of Quiapo Church. I usually visit him there every Friday. For now, I can't visit him." While most businesses temporarily closed during quarantine, our next kilalang Quiapenses store in Barangay 385 was actually one of the few places that was left open for Quiapenses. His name is Junior Habal. He's another neighbor of Miss Annabel in Barangay 385. He said that his store of vegetables and bigas, or uncooked rice, is an answered prayer from the Black Nazarene of Quiapo Church. Quote, "I really prayed to the Black Nazarene for a small sari-sari store," Junior shared to Miss Annabel during the interview. "Because if he didn't grant it to me, I would have returned home to Leyte. I was so down at that time that I just wanted to go home." End quote. Well, Junior has now been a Quiapense for the last 20 years, nearly half of his life. In gratitude for the small business that kept him here in Quiapo, he's one of the many devotees that give out free food during the Feast of the Black Nazarene every January 9. Well, that's it for this week. We introduced you to 6 of Miss Annabel's neighbors in Barangay 385, and that's 6 people you might come across in Quiapo when you visit us for tours. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode. Stay tuned for more by following us here on Spotify. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at Save SS Basilica. Now, see you when it's safe, but until then, stay safe and stay indoors.